Some major Celtics rumors on today's show. I am Will Scott. Welcome into Celtics Today. There is a report that the Boston Celtics are interested in trading into the first round of tomorrow night's NBA draft. This tweet earlier from NBA Central. The C's are interested in the Warriors' number 28 pick per Sean Devaney. Unbelievable if that goes down. We will keep you posted on Celtics Today. That is why you subscribe. Do not miss anything. The NBA offseason is off and running. A lot of rumors, a lot of stuff going down. Something goes down, you don't want to miss it. That is why you subscribe. Any Celtics news, any Celtics rumors, we're going to make a video about it. Go down and subscribe to the channel right now. Here's what Sean Devaney said in this report for Heavy.com. Among them, a source said, who are interested in trading into the first round are the Celtics, who are without a pick in this draft after sending their pick to San Antonio in last year's Derek White trade. Boston, also facing a future luxury tax bill, has an interest in bringing low-cost players who can contribute, and there could be a handful of polished older players available late in this year's first round. Now, before we get into players that Brad Stevens may be targeting, why he may want to trade up, do you want to trade up into the first round? Go down in the comments section and let me know. Type Y for yes or type in below. I think he might be going up and trying to get Christian Braun, a wing from Kansas who played a huge in that Kansas National Championship game. It looks like Braun, but it's pronounced Brown. He's expected to be taken late in the first round. Was a huge contributor on that Kansas team, put up over 14 points per game for a Jayhawk team that went all the way. Over 6 rebounds per game, can shoot the three ball, 38.6% from deep. And as I mentioned, he is expected to be taken, probably between 25 and 30 overall. But I think they're trading up to go after Christian Braun. I think it makes too much sense. We heard Brad Stevens say yesterday in his press conference that he felt like the Celtics needed a shooter off the bench, a guy that can produce from the wing. Braun is that guy. He did that last season at Kansas. He's a veteran player, played 3 seasons for the Jayhawks. I think it makes a lot of sense. He could come in day one and make an impact on this team, which is why I think it would be a perfect fit. You need to add guys on the wing that can help out Tatum and Brown, Jaylen Brown, in terms of when they come off when they're on the bench, having guys in there that can score. Brown, I think, would do just that. Here is the scouting report on Christian Braun. So he's 6'6", has some bounce, can dunk the ball, played 4 positions at Kansas, has a huge motor, can hit that corner 3, but can also defend. He was also known for being a pretty solid defender at Kansas. Talking about someone else that the C's may be targeting, that is Andrew Nembhard, someone who could be on the board if the Celtics trade into the first round. Here's what Rafael Barlow said about him, and we'll get to that in a little bit later. But Andrew Nembhard averaged 11.5 points per game for Gonzaga, 5.5 assists per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, 38% from 3, pretty solid shooter, played 4 college seasons, 2 at Florida before transferring to Gonzaga. So here is the scouting report on Nembhard. Looks like he has sincere interest from playoff teams drafting after number 20. Early second is his likely floor. He looks strong and assertive and already a total pro. Maybe the best pick and roll guard in the draft. So if you do trade up, I do believe the Celtics would be trading up for a guard. Would you rather have Christian Braun or would you rather have Andrew Nembhard? Type CB for Braun or type AN for Nembhard. Down in the comments section, who would you rather have on the Boston Celtics? Talking about another guy that the Celtics might look to trade up for. That is Christian Koloko, a very solid center out of Arizona. Had a very productive career with the Wildcats. And in fact, he might be one of the best rim protectors in this draft class. Was that last season at Arizona in terms of being one of the best defenders down low in college basketball. A Cameroon native, also is a pretty solid big man out of Cameroon, Joel Embiid. I'm not saying Koloko is going to be Embiid, but he had a very, very good season last year for Arizona. 12.5 points per game, over 7 rebounds per game. But the stat that jumps out to me, blocks per game, 2.8, shot 63.5% from the floor. Here's a scouting report on Koloko from The Ringer. He's an excellent interior finisher who slams home lobs when cutting from the baseline or rolling to the paint. He's also adept at sealing off his defender deep in the paint, making himself a target, and then fluidly finishing or turning into a jump hook. Improved as a free throw shooter in his junior season, hitting a career-high 72.2%. He even looked smooth on limited number of mid-range jumpers he took. He'll certainly work on his ability to hit spot-up threes leading up to the draft. If it's working for him, his draft stock will rise because we'll see shades of Brook Lopez, that coming from The Ringer. So Koloko, very, very good. And his value, I think, at 28 overall, if the Celtics do make that trade with the Golden State Warriors, which, by the way, that'd be pretty ironic after just losing to them in the finals, trading with them in the draft. So Koloko definitely needs to add a little bit more strength. He has gained 15 pounds since his freshman season at Arizona, but he still needs to get a little bit stronger. But when you look at this guy on tape, you see one of the best rim protectors in this entire draft. 2.8 blocks per game last season at Arizona, was a part of a really good Arizona team, was the heart and soul of that team down low. I really like Koloko. The Celtics do need some depth down low. I think this would make some sense trading up for Christian Koloko. Do you want to draft Koloko? Type D for draft or type P for pass down in the comments section. Do you want the Arizona big man in Celtics green? Let me know. Another guy that we're going to talk about is Trevor Keels, who's a very intriguing prospect, was a 5-star coming out of high school, and a lot of people think that he maybe underachieved last season for the Blue Devils. Now, don't get me wrong, this guy was still a very good player, averaged over 11 points per game for Coach K last season, but he did not put up the numbers that we saw other 5-stars at Duke, like Jason Tatum and Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett and all these other guys at Duke that were 5-stars and went to Duke and put up big numbers. He was not that guy, but I still think his potential at the next level is very, very high. The value late in first round will be good. However, I think I'd rather have Braun and Nembhard if I'm taking a guard, trading up for a guard. Makes more sense to get one of those two guys than it does Keels. And tomorrow is the big day, NBA draft here on Chat Sports. We're going to be providing nonstop coverage throughout the entire night. That is the sublink right there. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We're not going to have any commercials. We're going to have in-depth analysis of every single pick. Right now, the Celtics have the 53rd overall selection late in the second round. It's the 6th to last pick in the draft. But let me tell you, if the Celtics move up, tomorrow night is going to get interesting. Buckle up. You don't want to miss it. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Going to talk about another guard here to round out the show. That is Jaden Hardy, who maybe some of you aren't familiar with because he did not play college basketball. Instead, he was one of those guys that went the G League route, playing for the G League Ignite. Here is the scouting report on Mr. Hardy. 6'4", 190 pounds. Great off the ball, right? That is where he really excels off the ball. He is a great scorer, tight handle, and maybe can be a Dion Waiters type of player at the next level. Now, I think that Brad Stevens, though, if he were to trade up into this draft, would be interested in going and getting a Christian Braun, not so much a Hardy or Keels. Those are more younger guys. He might be looking for a more veteran player, someone that played 3 or 4 years of college basketball, come and produce for the C's right away. I think that's what Brad Stevens would be looking for if he trades up into the first round tomorrow. Now, who do you want the Celtics to trade up for? If I were to tell you right now that they're going to be on the clock at 28 overall tomorrow, who would you want them to trade up for? Let me know down in the comments section. Appreciate you all watching Celtics Today. Going to put out another video tomorrow about the Celtics draft pick, so don't want to miss that. Go down and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.